morning, crafty people. How are you today? It's Wednesday, November 25th. When you're seeing this, I'm recording it a little bit earlier. But welcome to Woolly Wednesday. My name is Jessie, and this is Mislaid Pages. Welcome if this is your first time. And if it's not your first time, thanks so much for coming back. I appreciate you watching. I know it's been a little while since I posted, and I do apologize for that. I'll explain in a little bit more detail on FlossTube on Friday. I am going to post a FlossTube this Friday. But I'll explain a little bit more detail at that point. That's when I tend to do my life update and more chatty stuff. So yeah, let's just suffice to say that there's been a lot of stuff going on the last few weeks, and I haven't been able to film for a number of reasons, and I'll talk about that more on Friday. So regardless, I'm welcome. I'm happy to have you all welcome. It's good to be back. And starting next week, you should be seeing me every day. I'm gonna attempt to do Flossmas this year. Hopefully I'll actually get to do most every day. I'll probably take a few days off here and there just because the weekends sometimes are hard to get videos done. But yeah, so Flossmas is coming. That's starting next week. So yeah, December 1st. I cannot believe it's almost December already. This has been simultaneously the fastest and the longest year ever. I swear this year has taken 5 years. It feels like 5 or 50 years. I mean, I never know what day it is anymore. But at the same time, the time is just flying and it's crazy, and I don't even know. So yeah, here we are, almost December, almost Thanksgiving. So let's get right into it. I have worked on a couple of different things. I haven't done a lot of work, but I have worked on a few things. So I have some stuff to show you. I have some whips. I'm going to talk a little bit about plans, but primarily my plans are to be opening Advent starting next week. So yeah, and then I have one little piece of haul. I have significantly reduced my purchases for all crafty things, largely because I did buy a bunch of Advent. So I have a ton of stuff to show you starting next week, but I don't have much to show you in the meantime. But that's okay because it's just this week, and then next week is Flossmas. So let's see. The main thing I have worked on this week, or the last few weeks, has been my Empower People bandana. This is a pattern by Casapinka for the Empower People 2020 Craftivism movement. Even though Election Day has come and gone, and thankfully it looks like certain parties aren't admitting defeat yet, but the administration is allowing the incoming administration to start having access to things that they're supposed to have access to. Yay. So things are starting to move in the right direction, but even so, it's important for us to remember to work in our communities to make sure that we're working towards equality for everyone, that we're voting when it's time to vote, that we're doing the things that we can do, because the fight is far, far, far from over. There's a lot of people in the US who still don't have the same rights that other people do, and they should, because why shouldn't we all have the same rights? We all live in the same country. So anyway, so this is where I am. As you can see, my little marker here, that's where I was last time we talked about this piece. So I've gotten a good couple inches. I think I'm probably 2 or 3 inches from being able to start the what is it called? The bind off section. But basically that's the section where instead of continuing to increase, I'll just go straight up, and then that straight edge will connect to the straight edge at the bottom here, and then it will be a bandana. Or actually, I'm not gonna wear it as a bandana. It's gonna be like a scarf thing. But and it's funny because I know when I started this, I was talking about not really enjoying this particular yarn, but I will tell you, after having been working with some bulky weight yarn, this is actually really a dream compared to bulky weight yarn. And I'm loving the way this lays, like the drape of the fabric. It's really nice. So I think this is going to be really enjoyable to wear once I get it finished. I did make a couple of mistakes when I got back into it, because it was almost like after knitting with the bulky weight, I forgot how to knit like a normal person. Something happened. So my first couple of rows back on this are kind of wonky. I don't know if you can see on the side, there's like this weird chunky place. So yeah, but regardless, I'll be the only one who sees that most likely. So this is getting very close to done. I've been trying to work a couple rows here and there just because if I work a couple here and there, eventually it'll get done, even though it feels like it's taking forever. Most everybody else has finished theirs already, but you know, better late than never, I always say. So, been working on Empower People. I started a new project that I don't think I've had the opportunity to show you all. This is the Casapinka Sharon's glamping blanket. I'm trying to make sure that so this is what I discussed working with that Karen Cake bulky weight yarn. Let me see if I can, this massive. So I really should have done the cat size, but I decided to do the lap blanket size. And this is turning out to be pretty much a monster. Like my what you call it, my circular needles are not even long enough for this. So I can't completely straighten it out because it'll come off the needles. Let me make sure I'm going to show you the correct side. So this is what I have on Sharon's glamping blanket so far. This is so thick. It's so thick. It's crazy, y'all. It's super, super thick. It's already heavy. And this is only, I don't know, 3 or 4 sections of a bazillion. It's got a lot of rows left to go. And I will say I stopped working on this because I was just getting frustrated and annoyed and stuff. And I did go, it was working up so tight that I went up. I started with a US size 10 needle, and then I went up to an 11. I think this is an 11. Yeah, so this is a US size 11, which is a 6mm needle. And even so, it still feels really, really tight when I'm knitting. And I guess it's looking okay, but to me, it's just, I don't know. I'm not in love with the color. I'm not in love with the chunkiness of it. There's just a lot of stuff I'm not in love with. And so part of me doesn't want to finish this, but it's so much yarn that I hate to not finish it. And I also don't want to just rip it all out because what else am I going to do with this yarn anyway? So I don't know. What I may do is, especially because this will make a very nice blanket to lay with the cats, to let the cats lay on, because this is acrylic. I can just toss it in the washer. And that may be part of why I don't like it so much, because I don't think the acrylic is as nice to work with as natural fibers, because all of the fancier yarn that I've been purchasing, none of it feels icky to work with. It all has a nice drape and a lay to it, and this is just like stiff and unhappy. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, so probably what I'll do is I'll try to get myself to work on a row or two a few times a week, just to make sure that I'm staying on it so that I can get it done eventually, because I don't want to undo the project, and I know that I'm never going to use this yarn for anything else, so there's no sense in unraveling it to do something else with it. So I might as well just keep on. It's going to be hard to motivate myself because I don't enjoy working on it so much, but there we go. What I may do is get some nicer yarn, or investigate my stash and actually make a different version of this with nicer yarn, a smaller version of this with nicer yarn. But yeah, so that's what we have for the glamping blanket. And as you can see, I mean, this is wider than I am, so this is going to be a nice, it'll be a nice thick warm blanket for the winter, for the cats to lay on, or for them to lay with me. So that'll be nice once it's done, assuming I can get it done before winter's over. So we'll see how that goes. So that was a new start. And then I actually only just got back to this last night, because I wanted to knit, but I wasn't feeling the knitting on the 2 other projects. So I got back out my, Sharonshow shawl, which, has been suffering in languishing in loneliness for quite a while because I worked on those. I worked on the cowl, and then I worked on my infinity scarf, and I kept laying this to the side. So um, I forget, I think I'm in clue 3 of 6 clues. So as you can see, this little dangly, I believe this is where you may have already seen the finish of this waffle cone section. I'm not really sure because I never remember to move my markers. But regardless, this is where my marker was last time, and this is where I am now. You can see this lace section is really coming together. I've gotten to and this is working up so much faster now that I am comparing it to the glamping blanket, because I think this may actually be more stitches than the glamping blanket, but you can see that it's significantly narrower. And so it works up so much faster. The thick yarn is supposed to work so fast. It's supposed to be so fast, but honestly, I feel like this is faster. So even with the lace section, it's faster. So as you can see, I'm into the second part of the lace section. There will be 3 of these all together. I really kind of like the effect that we're getting here with the waviness and stuff. That looks really cool. And I've got the second row of garter in the pink, and then I'm starting the second lace section up here. So I'll probably finish this particular lace section over the next couple of days, because today, after I get this recorded and I get this uploaded for tomorrow, basically I'm free to do whatever the heck I want, because I got my chores done yesterday. I took the week off of work, which I have not. I've never taken a whole week off of work that we didn't go on vacation. Or at least not in many years have I taken off time to do a staycation. So this is something new and different. And, you know, for once, I don't have a bazillion million things planned. The hubs is working day shift for most of the week, so I have time to myself. So yesterday I got the kitchen counter cleared off. I got the kitchen table cleared off. So we're all ready for Thanksgiving dinner, which, in the interest of full disclosure, Thanksgiving dinner is my husband, myself, and my brother. It's just the 3 of us. Chances are, even without COVID, we wouldn't have much of anybody else, just because our family is much smaller these days, and most of our friends have their own stuff to go to, but we are specifically keeping it small because of COVID and that sort of thing. So no big gatherings for us. We're not traveling to see anybody. The most we're traveling is the 2 miles or so to go pick up my brother and bring him to dinner. So that's about it. I did all of that just because I needed the surfaces cleared. And I had said a couple of months ago that I really wanted to have the kitchen table, the dining room table, cleared off so that we could actually sit down to dinner at Thanksgiving. We haven't sat down to dinner in the house in ages. So usually we're going out to dinner, or we're sitting in the living room watching TV while we eat dinner, because it's just me and my husband. So anyway, all that is to say that I should have some good crafting time. I plan on sitting on the couch and watching some TV, finishing up my rewatch of Buffy, and knitting some more on this because it's quite enjoyable. So as far as plans go for the next couple of weeks, I will be starting. I'm not sure how much of the Advent knitting I'm going to do in real time, just because I have 2 different full Advents, 24-day Advents. And then I have a half Advent from Rebel Woolworks, the Haunted Lodge Advent. That one I'll probably do very much like I did the, not Haunted Lodge, Winter at the Lodge. That one I will open, but I'll probably set it aside just like I did the Haunted Lodge Advent, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. But the Forbidden Fiber Co. Advent has a mystery knit along that goes along with it. So that one I'll probably do mostly in real time. And, excuse me, the Ruby and Roses Advent that I have, I'm going to use for the Casapinka Advent. It's not a mystery knit along, but it's a secret knit along, because you don't get to know what the pattern is until it drops on Monday. And that one is The Secret Life of Cats and Dogs. That's what that pattern is called. So I'll be doing that with my Ruby and Roses Advent yarn, which I think is going to be fun. So So I've got those two going on, but I've also got some cross stitch advents. So I don't know how quickly I'll be able to knit, how much I'm going to stay on task with the knitting, because it's going to be a lot. But yeah, so that's my main knitting plan for the next month or so, is to work on projects that I already have, or the two new cast-ons that I'll probably start next week, which are the Secret Life of Cats and Dogs by Casapinka, and the mystery knit along for Forbidden Fiber Co., my White Elephant mystery knit along. So after that, I may actually consider casting on a couple of the patterns that I have kitted up over the last few months. So that's going to be the sunstripe shawl, cowl from Erin Currup. If you've been watching, you've seen it. It's all in the links. The sunstripe shawl or cowl. The Descent cowl, I think I have decided that I'm going to use the Rebel Woolworks Real Teal along with the Dragon Horde gnomes something that Lindsay gave me. Those two look really good together, so that's going to be my Descent cowl. And then also I'm going to use Willow for another Erin Currup pattern, Equitus, the Equitus cowl. So those will come sometime after the beginning of the year. I think I'm pretty well stocked up for knitting projects for the next month or so. I almost got myself in trouble, and I almost volunteered to do a test knit, and then thankfully Rachel and Heike talked me down, because I was really excited and I was like, oh, that looks like it'd be an easier pattern to do, but they reminded me that I have a really bad habit of taking on too much, and I'm already doing a lot of stuff, so so I didn't sign up for that. So I am free to just work on whatever I want to work on. I'm always free to work on whatever I want to work on, but those are my plans for the next several weeks. So hopefully I'll have lots of fun stuff to show you. And let's see, so that's plans. So I'll show you the one little bit of haul I have, and then I'll let you go for today. It's gonna be a short one. So I have my knit crate. So that's the haul that I have. This is the first time I've purchased knit crate in 3 or 4 months, I think. This was the first time they had anything that was even somewhat interesting. So, and I'm skipping the next box because, again, it's just not, they're just, I don't know. I think COVID threw them for a loop. I think they had some really awesome stuff planned that just hasn't come to fruition because of supply issues and all that sort of stuff. So we are back to having boxes, which I appreciate, but this one has been through the ringer. I don't know if you can tell, but like this is all black over here. The box is all squished. So this one had a trip, but this is how this is how our knit crate boxes come when you get the knit crate box. Now you can skip the box these days. You can actually get it packaged in what they call eco-friendly, which is a bag instead of a box. And so this is what we get in the box. So I've got my, I got the sock crate this time because the sock crate yarns I thought were really nice. So the little extra gift is this keychain light. Let me get my directions here. Knit crate keychain light. And then we've got our booklet with our patterns. And I'll have to look real quickly to tell you what this yarn is because I've already forgotten. So this is from Audine Wools. So it's an alpaca blend, alpaca sock. Let me hold it up for you. This colorway is called Napoli. And this is a 60% merino, 20% alpaca, 20% nylon blend. Yeah, okay. The colors are actually coming out pretty well in this light. This is my kitchen, by the way. Since the counters were clear, it was much easier to film in here for right now. Little secret, sneak peek, on Friday, I'll be debuting the craft room. I'm probably not going to do a full craft room overview, like a tour, but I will be filming for the first time in the craft room, officially in the craft room. So yeah, look out for that on Friday. So yeah, the colors are coming. I'm hoping I can get the lighting at least this good in the craft room. We'll have to see. I'm gonna have to play around with a lot of things. So, you know, please forgive me if the first few weeks, especially because I'll be filming every day starting next week, if everything's kind of wonky from day to day. But anyway, so this is really gorgeous. It's got some teal and blue and gray. It's going to be a nice, I'm not sure this would really be called self-striping, but I think it's going to be a really nice knit up when it's done. I think it's going to look really well. Oh, and there's a cat, because there's always a cat. This is Momo. Let me see if I can show you, because sometimes they have samples in the book to show you how it knits up. And of course, nothing's coming up. That's the purple. That's the purple and pink. Okay, so they didn't use this colorway to knit anything. Of course they didn't. But let me see if I can show you this sock without showing you the pattern. Okay. So this is the purple and gray, or the lavender and gray. That's how that knits up. So it'll be similar to this. So yeah, I think that's going to be really pretty. I had hoped to get some extra, at least one skein of the other two colorways when Double Down started this month, but I think they're already sold out of the sock crate yarn, which happens. But honestly, I mean, do I really need 3 skeins in different colors of this? Probably not. So anyway, I thought this was pretty, so I thought I would share that with you. I will have all kinds of pretties to share with you starting next week. I will also soon be getting, I believe this month I get my next installment of the Yarn Over Truck Super Nerdy Yarn Club. And that one, this month's skein is based on, is inspired by Storm from the X-Men comic books. It looks really, really nice. I opted not to get extra skeins this time because I didn't feel like I would really make anything large in that colorway. It's a gorgeous colorway, but I didn't feel like I was going to make anything huge out of it. So 1 skein I think is going to be really enough. But I'm excited to get that in hand and look at it. I think it's going to be awesome. So I think that's all I have for y'all today. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that whatever you're doing this week, that it is enjoyable for you. I hope you're having a great week, a great month. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, then I hope you're going to do it safely. And I hope that you're going to still make the best of it and be thankful for what you have and what you can do. Because the important thing is that even if you can't be with your loved ones this Thanksgiving, that's hopefully keeping everybody safe so that you can see them next Thanksgiving. So as always, be safe, stay hydrated, take your meds, and remember that good enough is good enough. And I will see you all next time. Bye.